On this edition of Gameball NFL Endzone, we're going to recap the top 4 matchups that happened in Week 4 of the NFL season. Plus, in our second segment, which winless team could go 0-16 between the Redskins or the Dolphins. Plus, which 2-2 teams are pretenders or contenders between the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, or the Los Angeles Chargers. And, of course, in our third segment, we're going to bring you the top 4 forecasts in Week 5 coming up on the NFL season this weekend. Stick around. Gameball NFL Endzone begins now. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Gameball NFL Endzone, where the football season never ends. I'm Marcus Young Genius Jenkins.
It's your boy, Michael Riley.
I'm Luke Hartnett. Best of luck to the baseball teams that qualify for the playoffs. Best of luck to the 31 NHL franchises who start the regular season this Wednesday. My favorite team, the Avalanche, they open Thursday against Calgary, a playoff rematch from a year ago. So this Thursday, you're going to have some NHL hockey going on that counts. You're going to have some playoff baseball. You're going to have the Rams at the Seahawks. All going down. Thursday's going to be a sports paradise. Can't wait.
Oh, and one more thing. The NBA's back, too. I'm going to throw that out there. The preseason kicks off as well. Hockey's back. I'm excited for that, actually. We're going to start things with the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. This was a defensive grinder nonetheless. We're going to talk about that here also momentarily. 16-10 would be the score for the New England Patriots, who march on to 4-0 on the season. And the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs would also go to 4-0 after a tough grinded out matchup on the road against the Detroit Lions. They were prevailed by a score of 34-30, and we'll talk about that one here momentarily. The Cleveland Browns on the road coming up with a win against the Baltimore Ravens, now losers of 2 straight to go to the season of 2-2. And the Dallas Cowboys.
I told you.
Yeah. We called it, but I mean, at the same time, give them a little bit of credit because not very many people were really expecting the Saints to still do the things that they were able to do, and the Saints are good defensively this season as well. But 12-10 will be the score over the Dallas Cowboys, a squeak it out win by the New Orleans Saints nonetheless. Now we're going to back it up and talk about the New England Patriots game. This was definitely a defensive matchup. Mike, I want to start with you first. This is one of those games, okay, Tom Brady didn't throw for a touchdown in this game. However, this is what separates him from a lot of different from most quarterbacks in this National Football League, and that is they didn't get it done on the ground. However, they found ways to get it done. How was New England able to get this one?
Well, you got to put it all on 3 phases. Defense, special teams, offense was a factor, but actually 2 phases. Defense and special teams got it done. Forcing 3 and out, a block punt for return for the touchdown, and defense forced 4 turnovers and about 5 or 6 sacks, I think. And overall, it was just defense that won this game. Earlier, New England offensively was able to get some drives going and was able to capitalize on a touchdown and an extra point to go up to 13-0 before Buffalo went on a run in the second half to score. Now, offensively, it can be better and it will be better. Offensive line, still there's some shuffling going, and they're thin at offensive line right now due to injuries, and receivers still shuffling going here and there. But like the Patriots, once they get going offensively, they get going because you got the best coach and the best quarterback in the game right now. So I wouldn't even put it all, but let's give where credit's due. That is the defense. They have, going back to the Super Bowl, they have giving up 26 points, going back to the Super Bowl on defense. That's 26 to 27 points that day. Now, that is a championship, top-notch defense. Yes, they gave up that winning streak, a touchdown and a field goal, but they found after that touchdown, they ain't let it happen again. Because Buffalo Bills was at the red zone at one point, was threatening to score, but the defense came up big on the fourth down on interception play. So you have to give up the defense. Performance-wise, I'll give the Patriots offensive line a D+. It could have been better. Kicking game, F-. How you missed the extra point. And defensively, A+. Even though they get a touchdown, overall performance, I give it a B-.
All right, Luke, I'm going to swing this one to you. You mentioned the 4 interceptions, Mike, including the one by backup quarterback Matt Barkley, with a little under a buck and a half left in that game, which ultimately will seal this game. What do you think about the Patriots fighting this one out to win in Buffalo?
I mean, the Bills, they actually outscored the Patriots offensively 10-9. You might remember that the Patriots scored a touchdown via a punt return, or excuse me, a punt block return. So I was kind of curious to know why Buffalo, down 16-10, went for it on 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, especially with the backup quarterback in there. You take the points, you get the ball back. They were at, I believe, the Patriot 39-yard line when they threw the pick. Well, if you're down 3, you're not needing a touchdown at that point. You're probably, 10 yards from field goal range? So it's a chance to take it to overtime there. And, assuming they kicked the 2 field goals, they would have, offensively outscored the Patriots 16-9 at that point. Might, Sans the block punt return for touchdown. So, kind of a learning experience for Buffalo. I thought it was kind of interesting because, like, the Chiefs, they had that 100-yard fumble return against the Lions as well. So, theoretically, the Lions, they outscored the Chiefs offensively, 30-27. But yet the Lions and Bills both had to hold that L this week.
All right, New England Patriots, a big one. They will face next the 0-4 Washington Redskins, while the Buffalo Bills take on the Tennessee Titans in their next matchups. Moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, who squeaked this one out. Patrick Mahomes ends his streak of touchdowns in this one. 34 points they were still able to put up without Patrick Mahomes throwing one in the end zone. Luke, I'm going to kick this one to you first. What do you think about this Chiefs win over Detroit?
You talk about getting lucky to win there. I mean, I already mentioned the 100-yard fumble return. So, Detroit was down there by the goal line. They protect the ball. That might be 7 points in their pocket, 7- for Kansas City there. So just doing some basic math, that's going to make it 37-30 to Detroit right there. You got just with the basic math as well. And I thought in the third quarter, the touchdown pass to initially touchdown pass to Galladay should have stood.
Thank you.
The ball. Well, I understand that the ball moved. He had 2 hands on it at all times, and against the. So there was still it moved, but he had possession. Like the hands were there. It was pinned to the body, and he had 2 feet in the paint. So that said, credit to Pat Mahomes being able to tuck it and run on the 4th and 8. He's getting frustrated. Pat was a little frustrated yesterday, and you could tell he's missing Tyreek Hill a little bit. Right. Yeah, I think you can tell their special teams is missing Tyreek Hill a little bit as well. So, still threw for 300 yards, still protected the ball, no interceptions. Kelsey and Shady McCoy had a nice little, hook and ladder, if you will, and what a play, what a catch! But not necessarily what a catch, but what a way to hang onto the ball by Byron Pringle there. I mean, he got hit twice. That looked for sure he was going to fumble the ball on a day where fumbles was an issue for both teams, and he got them down there to the 1 or 2 yard line, and they scored a play or 2 later. So, Chiefs and the Patriots, they did what champions do. Over the weekend, we'll throw the Clemson Tigers in there as well. Champions find a way to win. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter who or where against who, by how much, by how little, champions win.
And that's what separates them from other teams. Mike, I want to swing this one to you. What do you think about the Chiefs win on the road in Detroit?
Well, the Chiefs offensively didn't have their best game, and there are going to be games you don't have your best offensive game. Their running game stepped up a little bit, but I would like to see Andy Reid use that running game more because teams is starting to figure out Patrick Mahomes in the passing game. So you got to start emulating more the running game. That's my problem with Andy Reid. He does not like to run the ball a lot. He relies on his passing game more. And I understand you don't have a big name star running back, but get the running game going. Chew up some clock.
That should change with Damian Williams coming back.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
I understand that, but we all know it's Andy Reid. and he likes to pass the ball and be stat happy. Sometimes you have to give up stat happy and get the win and be physical, run the football. And also, their defense. I said it before, beginning of the year, and I'll say it again, that defense is an issue. Credit, they did make some plays, but the defense is still an issue. And Steve Spagnuolo has shown me no reason he deserves a defensive coordinator job. If I'm Kansas City, I'm looking at the other way and finding somebody quick. Because if your defense continues to give up 30 points, that's not going to last in the playoffs going forward. So defense needs to clean up quick.
I agree with the both of you. For me, what I translate with the defense is this. You notice when they played against the Baltimore Ravens as well, the first 2.5 quarters, they looked like a top 5 offense. They held the Ravens to 6 points in the first half. They did similar things to the Detroit Lions, and then they just let their foot off the gas in that second half. And before you know it, the Detroit Lions had a good chance to win that football game. The offense, what I learned with Patrick Mahomes is this is what separates him from a lot of quarterbacks and why he's mentioned with the same breath. He doesn't have the hardware of a Drew Brees, doesn't have the hardware of a Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, et cetera, but he finds ways to get it done when it counts. Towards the end of the game, they were able to get it done. Of course, Darrell Williams was able to get that 1-yard run. But, I mean, it doesn't get any easier for Kansas City moving forward as well. We'll see what happens with this defense. That's obviously still, unfortunately, their biggest issue moving forward. And that's going to do it for our first segment. Coming up, which winless team could go 0-16 between the Miami Dolphins or the Washington Redskins? Also, which 2-2 teams are contenders or are they possibly pretenders? And that is the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, or the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. You don't want to miss that segment coming up right here on Gameball NFL Endzone. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Gameball NFL Endzone. Now, in this second segment, we're going to talk about which team between these two, and that is the Dolphins or the Redskins, could go 0-16. Luke, I would like to hear your input first.
The two teams playing Miami October 13th, also known as next week. So I think the Redskins are going to go to South Beach and get a win. So I guess by that measure, it'd be the Dolphins.
Mike, do you agree?
Well, the Redskins is playing the Patriots, so that's an L. And the Dolphins might have a chance. So I'm going to say this could be history in the making. Two teams could go 0-16.
They have to go 0-15-1.
Well,
they play head-to-head.
Well, yeah, they do. I forgot you just mentioned that. I was hoping there for a second. I forgot the schedule, so.
Although 0-15-1 would be so much better.
Excuse me for that, but the team I would pick more likely to go 0-16 is the Washington Redskins. And I can see Jay Gruden and his job security is about on thin ice because he just basically didn't have a plan for Dwayne Haskins. The front office needs to do house cleaning, like really cleansing, because they haven't gotten nowhere. They're on their almost 25th or 26th starting quarterback in how many years? And the Redskins have a problem. So if I would have to say 0-16 team, it'd have to be the Washington Redskins.
If I had to pick a team, it's the Dolphins. The Dolphins so far just look terrible. I mean, so have the Redskins, but
yeah, the Dolphins do get the Jets twice, though.
They have a shot. That is true. And the Jets aren't looking that great either. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins. Which 2-2 team, Mike, do you think between the Titans, Browns, Panthers, Jaguars, or Chargers are contenders, and which ones do you think are pretenders?
I like the Panthers, as we were alluding to a few weeks ago, which losing team would make a splash. Ever since they put that backup quarterback in for Cam Newton, they just been on a roll. And 2-game winning streak, and I wouldn't jeopardize it yet, because if they could keep rolling, keep it winning, you might have some serious problems either bringing Cam Newton back from an injury when he's not fully 100%, or just keep the backup quarterback. It's a good problem, then it's a bad problem. And so if this kid continues to keep rolling, then I would expect the Panthers to keep going with him. Like they said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I also see the Titans as contenders as well. They have a little shaky start in their second game, and the other game, of course, but they found a way to win. And they went back to who they were, ground and pound, play physical defense. And Jaguars, if they can sneak out another win, I'll jump on the bandwagon, the Mitchell Mustache bandwagon. And the Browns, they're still pretenders. Yeah, you got to win over Baltimore, so what? It was their worst day, and that ain't going to happen again, because we all know the Baltimore Ravens has a good defense. And the Chargers, they got Melvin Gordon back, yeah, but are they pretenders? So far, yes. But if they start getting on the winning streak, they could be contenders. If they could beat the Chiefs 1 out of 2 times, then they could be contenders. And Jaguars, I'm going to put contenders briefly, but if they win, pretenders. I mean contenders, I meant to say pretenders for the Chargers. And the Jaguars just a slight bit. And the Browns, they got to show me more to be contenders. So right now, I'm not even sold. They're still pretenders to me. And my contenders right now is the Titans and the Panthers. Browns, Jaguars, slight bit, and Chargers are pretenders.
All right, Luke, let's swing this to you. Do you agree with those picks, or do you see it differently?
Well, as far as the Panthers go, I'll start there in the middle with them. I mean, the New Orleans Saints went to Seattle with the backup quarterback, won, came home against Dallas with the backup quarterback and won. So even though they got Drew Brees out for 6 weeks, they're still winning with that. They're a good football team. Point I'm trying to make is that NFC South, it's almost a slam dunk the Saints are winning that division. I don't think the South is getting 2 teams in this year. Carolina would be the most likely to get in there. There's a wild card, though, as well. The Jaguars got the whole Jalen Ramsey issue going on. I know there's a 4-way tie in the NFC South at 2-2 right now. If the Jaguars can stay in it within a game or so, by the time Nick Foles comes back, we'll have to revisit it then. But I'm not buying the Jaguars either. I think the Titans or the Texans are going to come out of that division in the end of things. Chargers, see what I said about the Panthers there. Kansas City's got the division on lockdown. So could they squeeze in a wild card at the end of the year ago? Possibly. AFC is really bad this year. You mentioned Melvin Gordon coming back, but I don't think any of the. I have all 3 of those as for the time being pretenders. I think the Titans are either going to win the division or get they'll finish 1 or 2 with the Texans, I think, when the season's all over with. And then the Browns, I mean, they showed really well at home and lost to the Rams. They after getting completely clobbered by Tennessee that first week, they've been pretty good actually. They were really good against Baltimore. The Bengals and Steelers are both winless going into Monday Night Football. The Steelers got a backup quarterback in there. So I have the Titans probably the most likely contender there, and perhaps the Browns due to default.
All right. My contenders would definitely be the Tennessee Titans. They're sitting at 2-2. And the Carolina Panthers. Pretenders, the Browns, I'm still not sold that this is, we know all the hype that came into this year that they could potentially be Super Bowl contenders. I never bought that for a second. They're starting to show that, even though, like you mentioned, they had an impressive win on the road. Exactly. Yeah, they had an impressive win. You got to give them credit, though. That was a big win in Baltimore on Sunday. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they still, even if Nick Foles was healthy, I still don't believe that they would be a contender just yet. Maybe in another year or 2, but I still am not buying into them at all this season. That's going to do it for our second segment. Coming up with our Week 5 forecast, we're going to bring you, of course, we talked about the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans previously. We got 3 more matches to talk about as well. Stick around. Gameball NFL Endzone comes back in a moment. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Gameball NFL Endzone. Now, in our third segment, of course, we're going to bring you the top 4 matchups heading into Week 5 of the NFL season, starting with the Buffalo Bills. We obviously know that was a defensive struggle against the New England Patriots. They would lose that one. And the Tennessee Titans, as we aforementioned, that are 2-2 on the season. Luke, I'll start with you first. What do you like about the Bills and the Titans?
No matter what happens this Sunday, it's not going to be as memorable as the wild card matchup from, 99? Music City Miracle, home run throwback. So that game's, they'll always have that game in lore there. But no, like we mentioned in that first, second segment, the Titans are in a 4-way tie for, first in the South right now. And the Bills, they look like a pretty good football team over the weekend as well. So I think the loser of this, Tennessee has a more realistic shot at winning their division than Buffalo does. So, but Buffalo can get a win here. I believe they're 2.5-point underdogs. The Bills are. That'd be just huge for them. They'd be able to get them back to the playoffs for the second time in 3 years. And with as abysmal as the AFC as a whole is, they could potentially. You don't want to lose 2 in a row though. That's the thing for Buffalo after a 3-0 start like that. So, a lot riding for the Bills in this one.
All right, Mike, I'm going to swing this one to you. What do you like about the Bills and the Titans?
Well, it's going to be a lot of physicality. It's going to be smash mouth football. And we don't know what Josh Allen due to that concussion that he had on that run play. In my opinion, he should never ran the ball for him to get hit like that. He should either slide or run out of bounds, period. So we don't know if he's coming back to play due to concussion protocols or not. So we don't know going forward, but it's going to be a smash mouth physical football. It's going to come down to which defense makes the play for the offense to win the game and which offense can be mistake-free, run out the clock, and be disciplined.
All right, another defensive grudge match between the Bills and the Titans seems to be underway. We're going to move forward to the second matchup, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. Mike, I'll start with you on this one. What do you like about this matchup?
Is the Wonder Kid of the Carolina Panthers versus the Mustache Mania of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm looking forward to this matchup. It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a dogfight, but it's in Carolina, and home field advantage does play. So it's going to come down to which offense has the ball last. If the opposing offense has the ball last, can make a play to set the team either a touchdown or winning field goal, can play mistake-free, be smart and disciplined, will win this game. Both defenses going to show out because they are very good defensively teams. It's going to come down to offense. Which offense can produce more at the end?
All right, Luke, I want to swing this one to you. What do you like about this matchup?
One of the more underrated NFL rivalries, if you will. Rivalry is the sense that they share an NFL birthday. I don't remember the exact year, 95, 96, they came into the league together. So those two always have be joined at the hip there. Kyle Allen, he's going to be making his first home start. Both teams have won 2 in a row after an 0-2 start. When we went to that second segment there, we kind of all were, patting the Titans on the back. Remember, they lost Week 3 to Jacksonville. So, Jacksonville, we'll see what the whole Jalen Ramsey situation is. That's kind of why I'm gun shy with them. But Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, 2 of the better backs in the game, albeit in, different styles. But like Mikey alluded to earlier, home field, it can mean so much.
All right, Jacksonville and Carolina will take us to the Green Bay Packers and Mike's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Luke, I'm going to start with you on this one. What do you like about the Cowboys and the Packers?
Seems like Aaron Rodgers just has the Cowboys' number. They had a regular season game there a year or 2 ago where it looked like for the world Dallas had them beat, and he was able to get them, I think, like 25 seconds down to field goal range. Then, of course, we all know
that was the playoffs.
I believe it was a regular season game.
It was the playoffs to go against the Atlanta Falcons a few years back. Because remember, they had a 27.
He did it twice. Yes, he did it in the regular season game on Fox like week 6 or 7. I think the previous year, and then I forgot all about the playoff.
Yeah.
See, the playoff game I was about to mention was the Dez catch or the Dez no catch,
right?
Where Aaron Rodgers got it there too.
Right.
So you're right. He went into Cowboy Stadium or Jerry World or whatever they're calling it these days, and did it twice. I forgot about the playoff game. I was thinking of a Fox game because it was about this time of the year.
Yeah.
It was early to mid-October where he was able to get him down the field and. 2 times. I believe in the regular season one, they had to make the kick where the play they were tied. Yeah. But then I also, I think Des caught it. Another story, another day. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers is I believe those are the last 3 matchups against the Cowboys, if memory serves me correct, because they did not play the regular season of the playoff game in Lambeau that year. So. Cowboys are getting 2.5. They also are getting 2.5 against the Saints as well. So like the Packers coming off a real stinging loss against Philadelphia. That one had to hurt.
Right.
They also played on Thursday, so they have 2, 3, 4 days extra time to prep. So going to be a good one. Going to be a real good. I think it's going to be a game of the day.
All right, and Cowboys once again looking to bounce back against that loss to the Saints as well. Then the last matchup, the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs obviously squeaking out that win against the Detroit Lions. Mike, I'm going to swing this one to you. What do you think about the Colts and the Chiefs?
Well, the Colts ain't no slouch either. Give the coaching staff a lot of credit. Ever since Andrew Luck unannounced retirement, they're able to keep it going, and they're able to find themselves in positions to still win that division. As I predicted earlier, they can still win the division. So it's just their defense. They got to find a way to fix the defense. The offense is there. If they can find a way to fix their defense a little bit and put in some tweaks and wrinkles here, then they can be in it. But they got a tough, tall task to have. They're in Arrowhead once again. There was an Arrowhead in the playoff loss last year, and now they're in Arrowhead round 2. It's going to be loud, and that environment is going to get rowdy, and crowd noise is going to factor. So for the Colts to win this game, they got to play smart defense. You can't go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. So this is what you do. Run the ball effectively. Take time on the clock. Make Patrick Mahomes and the offense sit on the sideline and watch. That's what frustrates Patrick Mahomes, where he cannot get time on the clock because the other team is taking a lot of time on the clock and winning time possession battle. That's what you do. And defensively, you cannot beat yourself against the Chiefs. If you do, Patrick Mahomes will make you pay for it. So be smart and keep everything in front of you. Bend, but don't break. And Chiefs defense got to straighten up. If you don't straighten up again, you can potentially maybe give up a game. So defense, you got to do a better job. Steve Spagnuolo, I don't know what he's doing, but he has to clean it up now. Because in my opinion, he needs to be on the hot seat.
And that's sad because they're only going into week 5, but it's basically the same dialogue, Luke, talking about the Chiefs and compare and contrast between the offense and the defense. What do you like about this matchup?
Colts come in 2-2. Both their losses have been to the AFC West, albeit week 1 in overtime at the LA Chargers, and most recently week 4 at home against the Raiders. So the Raiders actually look a little bit more surprised than I thought they are. They can be a legit 7-8 win team this year. So and getting a win at Indy was big for them. But, Mike made a lot of good points about what the Colts need to do, but that was a game plan going into the playoff game a year ago. That was that may have been the Chiefs' finest defensive performance, actually, because they knew they wanted to get Marlon Mack going. They never really did, but what the Colts need to at least do their best to avoid, they fell behind 14-0 so fast in that playoff game. If they can at least score first or at least get it to 7-7 or whatever else, 3-3, whatever the case might be, just they fall behind 2 touchdowns. It's done. They don't have the team, even with Andrew Luck, they wouldn't have had the team to make up a 2 touchdowns. Not against Kansas City.
And plus they're in Arrowhead.
At night. That is the Sunday night football game.
Prime time. All right, that's going to take us to our predictions part of the episode, starting with the Bills and the Titans. Luke, I'm going to kick this one to you. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to go with the Titans. They just looked really good against the Falcons over the week. I understand the Falcons just had but the 1 win, week 2 Sunday night game against the Eagles, which is looking bigger and bigger now for them. But Still, the Titans is able to go into the Georgia Dome, get a win away, or the Mercedes-Benz Georgia Dome, whatever it's called now. The Bills, they're winning me over. They play tough. They don't necessarily play well. They play tough though. I'm going to go with the Titans in a defensive slugfest here, 14-10.
Mike, who do you got?
I'm going with the Titans at home because I don't know what Josh Allen's concussion protocol looks like, and I just like the Titans overall better. And it's going to be a defensive grub match, but I say the Titans find the way to score it twice to put the nail in the coffin of the game. So I'm going to say 2010 Titans gets it done.
I think if we were in Buffalo, I would pick differently, but I agree with you guys. I like the Tennessee Titans in this one as well. I think it is going to be about defense. I'm going to say 17-14. I think it's going to be a game-winning field goal for the Titans to get it done at home. Jacksonville and Carolina. Mike, who do you got?
The Wonder Kid or the Mustache? I would lean towards the Mustache Minshew, but I'm going with the Panthers. Rah! At home. They're on another level with a backup quarterback. They're gelling well and all this good stuff. And defensively, at home, they ball. Especially Luke Kuechly. He's still balling. He's a little bit over his prime. He still can play. So for those factors, it's going to be a close game. But I said the Carolina Panthers find this way to squeak you out. I'm going to say 25-22. Carolina gets that done at home.
All right, Luke, I'm going to swing this one on to you. You agree?
Like I said, Kyle Allen getting his first home start against Uncle Rico at the Jaguars, also known as Gardner Minshew. I don't know that Leonard Fournette can get the running game going. I know he had a really strong game against the Broncos over this past weekend. I just think Carolina's going to have a game plan for that. Make Jacksonville one-dimensional. They'll be putting 7-8 in the box, I imagine. I understand the Buccaneers beat the Rams this past weekend 55-40 and whatever else, but for the most part, scoring has kind of been down in the league this year. 20 points would have won a lot of games so far this year. So with that in mind, I go with the Panthers.
I love it. It's a defensive battle.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Panthers. 13-10.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Panthers at home. Mike, do you agree with that one as well?
Yeah, I already did.
All right, well, all three of us going by way of Carolina at home. To give a score, I'm gonna say 21-17. I like Carolina at home. Dallas Cowboys. I want to hear your input for on this one. You think Dak Prescott and company bounces back against the Packers?
Against that bad man, Aaron Rodgers? The answer is hell no, I'm not going with the Dallas Cowboys. And you see why I call the Dallas Cowboys bad luck in the making. Because every time you see that black cat from the pet cemetery rolls around and everybody thinks something goes good, it will curse you and you will fall and die and bad things happen. That's what's going to happen to the Dallas Cowboys. I just believe that Green Bay Packers is coming off that ugly taste, sour loss in their mouth, that last minute interception that Aaron Rodgers threw. It should have been a run, and the coach would have called it a run, dumb part on his. I think he learned his lessons, and the Packers defense will get better and better. I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to make more plays offensively for the Packers to win against the Cowboys on the road. So I'm going to say the Packers get it done, 30-27, Green Bay Packers over them Cowboys.
All right, Luke, I'm swinging this on to you. You think Cowboys Nation has something good to look forward to?
I really don't. The NFL, if nothing else, is a copycat league. What the Saints did, they was able to lay out a blueprint for the rest of the league to, kind of duplicate going forward there. Watching that game against the Saints, it kind of reminded me of last year of a game in week 3 or 4 against Seattle where they I understand they rebounded, made the playoffs, beat Seattle in the playoffs, and they did not have Amari Cooper at the time either, which makes the game against the Saints even more baffling because they did have Amari in this one, but something about their play calling is just inconsistent. And they played just an incredibly soft schedule the first 3 games, as did the Patriots. Patriots were at least able to, the NFL, let's say the NCAA tournament, survive in advance. Props to the Patriots, wasn't pretty. They did what they had to do. They're 4-0. And the Cowboys, and then we mentioned in the first part of this, Aaron Rodgers and his way to just have, fourth quarter success against the Cowboys there. I think that's going to be probably a 17-17 game, and if the 4, 5, 6 minutes to go, Packers kick a field goal and win 20-17.
And what'd you say? The Cowboy are America's what?
America's 8-18.
I'm sorry, Cowboy Nation. I just trust Aaron Rodgers more than Dak in this one. Aaron Rodgers seems to have the Cowboys number, like you mentioned before. I'm going to give this score, I'm going to say 28-17. I like Green Bay in this one.
I think the Cowboys have a better top-to-bottom roster. They're at home. They're favored. They're theoretically the better football team. I just can't pick them.
Just don't trust them. And the final matchup, the Kansas City Chiefs, Indianapolis Colts. Luke, who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one, 31-20. 31 might be a little bit low for the Chiefs, especially in a home game at night against the Colts team that lost to the Raiders the previous week. But I think the Colts are going to do just enough to keep it interesting. Might be a one-score game going into the start of the fourth quarter. But I think Pat and company get that nail in the coffin, about the 8-minute mark of the game to really steal it.
Mike, what do you got in this matchup?
It's going to be a shootout for me again. I just don't trust the Chiefs' defense. I trust the offense more than their defense. Here's the problem. As I was alluding to last week, the Chiefs never been balanced. Seems like back in the days of when Jack Stram and all that, they have a top. They was the only team that was balanced when they won the Super Bowl in '69 before we was born, offensively and defensively. Fast forward to Marty Schottenheimer, defensive team, no offense. Fast forward to Dick Vermeil, offense but no defense. Fast forward to Herb Edwards, defense but no offense. Fast forward to Andy Reid, offense for no defense. It's just never been balanced. It's always lopsided. It's Patrick Mahomes will find a way to get a late score and win the game at home because it's in Arrowhead. So I'm gonna say the Chiefs win it 38-30.
They had balance with Todd Haley. They just stunk.
That is
I wouldn't count that as balance.
Chiefs offense definitely will outscore the Colts. The streak will start over, I guess would be a safe term. I definitely think Patrick Mahomes will find the end zone at least 3 times in this game, if not maybe one more to be safe. I like this by a score. I think they'll make it 35-21 is what I have the Kansas City Chiefs get it done at home. And that's going to do it for this episode of Gameball Info Endzone. Social media, you can find me on Facebook, Marcus Jovel ENT Jenkins, as well as Instagram, Instagram, Twitter, you know the social media, at Jovel ENT. And also this weekend, October 6th, if you don't have anything to do, I will be performing live as part of the LFK Spotlight series at the Jazz House, October the 6th. Pull up.
Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Instagram, YouTube, all on my right side, and that would be to your left. So follow all the social media. Thank you for the support. We hit over 601 likes on our Facebook page. Salute to that. Thank you. Also another 1,000 views. And also relaunch our clothing line website is gameballshop.equity.com. Again, that is gameballshop.equity.com. Get your gear, fitness, T-shirts, hats, everything's to wear. So thank you for your support, and I'm going to pass it on to Luke.
Just a reminder, this Saturday, October 5th, our first Division II campus invasion in Joplin, Missouri. The unbeaten top 20 Central Missouri Mules come to town to play the Missouri Southern State Lions. Really looking forward to doing that one. Like I said, our first Division II matchup. November 16th, we're up in Des Moines, Iowa to watch Drake and Dayton, which will be our first football championship subdivision, aka FCS level football. So we got some milestones, if you will, coming up. Luke Hartnett on Facebook, Luke Hartnett 2 on Twitter. Again, we got a great campus invasion coming up this weekend, and some bigger ones after that.
And of course, as always, thank you everyone for the support. We can't do this without you. With that being said, this has been another episode of Gameball Info Endzone, and we'll see you next week.